In this video, we're going to look at how to write names for ionic compounds when you're given a transition metal in the formula. So let's look at Fe2O3. And the first part is we want to identify the different elements in the formula. So every time you see an uppercase letter, you want to think a new element. So uppercase F, lowercase e is our first one. And we look at our periodic table, and this is iron. So I'm going to write iron. Then we come over here, next uppercase letter is an uppercase O. And we look down here at our periodic table and we notice that's oxygen. Normally what we could do is combine these two together and be done. But the problem with transition metals is we can't just do that. We need to add a Roman numeral. And that is because the transition metals will have different charges and we have to show that in our name. So for iron, what you want to do is you want to write how many you have. So I have 2 Fe's, so I write that right here. Then I look and I have 3 oxygens, so 3 O's, and I'm going to write that there. When I look at my periodic table, I know each oxygen will have a -2 charge, and that's because it's going to accept 2 valence electrons. When it does, it's going to form an anion, a negative ion. So I'm going to go ahead and put -2 by each of my oxygens, then add those up. And I get -2, -2, -2, that equals -6. When we look at a compound, we want it to equal 0. So we know this adds up to 0. And right now I have a -6 charge that equals 0. So we got to ask ourselves, what plus -6 equals 0? And that is +6. So +6 plus -6 equals 0. So the next step is we have 2 irons and they have to have the exact same charge on them. So +6 divided by 2 is +3, or +3 plus 3 equals +6. So each one of these irons has a +3 charge on it. Then what we do is we come and look at our Roman numerals, and we see a +3 is represented by the Roman numeral 3. So we put that into parentheses right after iron. So this tells me iron has a +3 charge. Then what we do is we have to change the ending of oxygen. We can't leave it as oxygen. So we look at our list here, and we see oxygen needs to be oxide. So we change oxygen to oxide. We change that ending to IDE. Then we bring them together, and we have iron 3 oxide as the name for the formula Fe2O3.